Ladies and gentlemen, I am StooDogg. I'm at my desk today instead of just hanging out in front of a camera. My desk was set up after appearing on the Hackamon Mike morning show on Mike's channel. Good show, you might want to check it out. It's got me on it, and he's on it as well. But I thought maybe we could talk about the thing that everybody's talking about at the moment that isn't YouTube spam. I am, of course, referring to the coronavirus. Everybody's talking about it, and YouTube have released a few blogs about it as well. So I thought we could go over those as it's within the purview of my channel. Anyway, let's have a look, shall we? Coronavirus. An update on creator support and resources. Wednesday, March 11th, 2020. As of today, the 17th of March 2020, that was released last week. At that time, it was widely thought that coronavirus content was being demonetized and suppressed. So let's have a look on the update on creator support and resources and see what we think about it, ladies and gentlemen. Dear creators and artists, over the past several weeks, as we've all seen the growing crisis around the coronavirus, we at YouTube have been thinking about how these developments might affect you. We often say that you're the heart of YouTube. During this difficult time, we wanted to share how we're working to help and support you. And this opens up into something else. Company announcements, coronavirus, how we're helping. Coronavirus update. The following is based on an email to employees that Sundar sent earlier today. Read this post in Spanish here. No, thank you. I believe that English will suffice. As Covid-19 makes its way across the globe, it's affecting our communities in different ways. Many in Europe and the Americas are just now beginning to experience what people in Asia have been confronting for weeks. We have set up a 24-hour incident response team to stay in sync with the World Health Organization, and Google's leaders are meeting daily to make critical decisions about our offices globally. In doing so, we weigh a number of factors grounded in science, including guidance from local health departments, community transmission assessments, and our ability to continue essential work and deliver the products and services that people rely on. We're also trying to build resilience into our operations and our products by testing our own capacity to work remotely. And it is also important to think about how we can help our local communities as we make these changes. Some of our offices have shifted to a work-from-home status, ensuring business continuity, whilst others are still operating as normal. As we make these changes, we have been making sure that our hourly service vendor workers in our extended workforce who are affected by reduced work schedules are compensated for the time they would have worked. This is an unprecedented moment. It is important we approach it with a sense of calm and responsibility, because we have many people counting on us. Every day people turn to Google products for help to access important information, to stay productive while working and learning remotely, to stay connected to people you care about across geographies, or to simply relax with a great video or some music at the end of a long day. I've shared some early examples of what we are doing to help below. As the coronavirus situation continues to evolve, we will be thinking of even more ways we can be helpful to all of our users, partners, customers, and communities. In the meantime, please continue to take care of yourselves and each other, helping people find useful information. People continue to come to Google to search for vaccine information, travel advisories, and prevention tips. For example, since the first week of February, search interest in coronavirus increased by plus 260% globally. Our SOS alert in search connects people with the latest news plus safety tips and links to more authoritative information from the World Health Organization. WHO, Doctor Who. For people specifically looking for information about symptoms, prevention, or treatments, we're working to expand our knowledge panels for health conditions to include a COVID-19 panel. Okay, I've seen these panels before. That's useful, I guess. On YouTube, we'll be using the homepage to direct users to the WHO, or other local relevant authoritative organisations, and will donate ad inventory to governments and NGOs in impacted regions for use for education and information. Google Maps continues to surface helpful and reliable local information. Protecting people from misinformation. Our trust and safety team has been working around the clock and across the globe to safeguard our users from phishing, conspiracy theories, malware, and misinformation, and we are constantly on the lookout for new threats. On YouTube, we are working to quickly remove any content that claims to prevent the coronavirus in place of seeking medical treatment. On Google Ads, we are blocking all ads capitalizing on the coronavirus, and we blocked tens of thousands of ads over the last 6 weeks. We're also helping WHO and government organizations run PSA ads. Google Play also prohibits developers from capitalizing on sensitive events, and our long-standing content policies strictly prohibit apps that feature medical or health-related content or functionalities that are misleading or potentially harmful. As I have seen spam channels evolve over the last few months on YouTube, I'm wondering when they will start trying to capitalize on the coronavirus for views and cons. Enabling productivity for remote workers and students. Employees, educators, and students are using products like Gmail, Calendar, Drive, Classroom, Hangouts Meet, and Hangouts Chat. I thought Hangouts had been killed off. As well as G Suite for education, to be productive while working and learning remotely, including hundreds of thousands of students in Hong Kong, Vietnam, and Italy, where schools have been closed. Starting this week, we rolled out free access to our advanced Hangouts Meet, video conferencing capabilities to all G Suite and G Suite for Education customers globally until July 1st, 2020. That's quite an optimistic time frame, Google. I wouldn't be expecting to see a vaccine for at least a year. But that's just my own personal opinion, based on things that I've read. Things that I've read through Google. We're also adding resources to be able to support increased demand for public live streaming on YouTube. We've seen increased interest in affected regions as people look to be able to connect virtually with their communities when they're unable to do so in person. Supporting relief efforts and government organisations, we're providing 25 million in donated ad credit to the WHO, and government agencies, and will provide more if there's a need throughout the year. Google.org and Googlers have donated over 1 million to support relief efforts, which will go towards organisations working to purchase medical supplies, provide frontline workers with food and lodging, support the construction of temporary hospitals, and help with long-term recovery efforts. Google Cloud continues to work with federal, state and local governments to help them connect with citizens and returning travellers from impacted regions. For example, in Singapore, Google Cloud worked with the government to implement a chatbot on their website that helps answer citizens' most common questions. We're also working with governments around the globe to help them promote authoritative public information about COVID-19 through our Google Ad Grants Crisis Relief Programme. I've seen the NHS linked underneath coronavirus videos, so I'm guessing that's one of their authoritative sources, or what YouTube considers to be an authoritative source, at least here in the UK anyway. I'm not sure about anywhere else in the world, but that's what's being put forward here. Advancing health research and science. DeepMind used the latest version of its AlphaFold system, building on the protein folding work that appeared in Nature. That appears to be a magazine website of some kind. In January to release structure predictions of several proteins associated with SARS-CoV-2, the virus that causes COVID-19. These structural predictions have not yet been experimentally verified, but the hope is that by accelerating their release, they may continue to the scientific community's understanding of how the virus functions and experimental work in developing future treatments. Verily is developing a small body-worn temperature patch that transmits data to a phone application to provide timely notification of fever and support earlier diagnosis and treatment of a viral infection like the flu or the coronavirus. This could be especially useful in elderly populations where viral infections have higher rates of morbidity and mortality. And then there are links to more articles. Further to that article, Google appears to have released another 13 articles about the coronavirus on that page. Hopefully that's not an unlucky number, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, let's go back to this article that was released on the 11th. Dear creators and artists, over the past several weeks, as we've all seen the growing crisis around the coronavirus, we at YouTube have been thinking about how these developments might affect you. We often say that you're the heart of YouTube, and during this difficult time we wanted to share how we are working to help and support you, which we just read. Keeping our community informed. There's a lot of uncertainty right now, and we understand the importance of helping people find authoritative sources of news and information. We're using our homepage to direct users to the World Health Organization, WHO, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, and other local authoritative organizations around the world to ensure users can easily find updates, like the NHS. We're also donating advertising inventory to governments and NGOs in impacted regions who are using it to spotlight timely, helpful information. Admittedly, I haven't seen any ads about the coronavirus or anything to do with health. It's mostly been Mr. Beast trying to sell something. Can't remember what. Some kind of coupon thing. And Grammarly. So, ladies and gentlemen, if I catch the coronavirus, I'll be able to describe it well if I follow Google Ads. It remains our top priority to provide information to users in a responsible way. From the very beginning of this outbreak, we've worked to prevent misinformation associated with the spread of the virus. We're also raising up authoritative sources in search and recommendations and showing information panels on relevant videos. YouTube will continue to quickly remove videos that violate our policies when they are flagged, including those that discourage people from seeking medical treatment or claim harmful substances have health benefits. Finding trustworthy content is especially critical as news is breaking, and we'll continue to make sure YouTube delivers accurate information to all our users. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm guessing stuff like people eating Tide Pods or drinking bleach as a vaccine or as a cure to the virus will be content that YouTube is just going to yeet straight off the platform. And yeah, we've seen these little panels appearing underneath coronavirus videos. I've seen them from the NHS, and I've got no doubt that you'll have seen them from other organisations. The WHO, Doctor Who, or whoever else. Partnering to help others. The situation is evolving every day, and we're committed to providing you updates along the way, including any changes that may impact our processes and support systems. Check in here to find the latest resources from YouTube. And checking in here, you get coronavirus disease 19, COVID-19 updates from YouTube. The impact of coronavirus COVID-19 is evolving every day. Please check back here for regular updates on how YouTube is addressing the situation. There's an article that I want to cover in a video. This one's getting kind of long. That's what she said. So I'm going to cover it in another video of this series. But another one we've got here is monetizing COVID-19 related content. We're expanding the monetization of content mentioning or featuring COVID-19 to more creators and news organizations. Creators will receive a notification in the YouTube studio when this change has gone into effect for their channel. As always, content must follow both advertiser-friendly and community guidelines. Basically, what YouTube's saying here is that if your name is Jimmy Kimmel, Lily Singh, or Will Smith, then you're fine and you can talk about any damn thing you want. Am I right? People around the world come to YouTube for information, but they're also looking for something more, to find relief and connect as a community. Creators and artists bring us together, offering entertainment and solace through conversations that help us feel less alone. We're working to make those connections possible by meeting the increased demand for live streaming as university events, conferences, and religious services move their gatherings online. It's certainly been quite fascinating to see a lot of offline things move into an online ecosystem and atmosphere. I don't think I've ever seen anything like this before in the past. The internet, bringing people together. Supporting creators. Updates to monetization for coronavirus related content. YouTube's policies are designed to support your work on the platform, to protect users and to give advertisers confidence about where their ads run. We know many of you have had questions about our sensitive events policy, which currently does not allow monetization if a video includes more than a passing mention of the coronavirus. Our sensitive events policy was designed to apply to short-term events of significant magnitude, like a natural disaster. It's becoming clear this issue is now an ongoing and important part of the everyday conversation, and we want to make sure news organisations and creators can continue producing quality video in a sustainable way. In the days ahead, we will enable ads for content discussing the coronavirus on a limited number of channels, including creators who accurately self-certify and a range of news partners. We're preparing our policies and enforcement processes to expand monetizations to more creators and news organisations in the coming weeks. I guess we just covered that on the page that we were just on. Like I said, Will Smith, Jimmy Kimmel, and Lily Singh all monetized whilst they talk about the coronavirus and make jokes and stuff. Yeah, that's gonna happen. The power of community. YouTube creators have shown time and again the difference it makes when we come together. We appreciate everything you do to create positive communities that allow people to turn to each other in times of need. Let's continue to support each other as we navigate these challenging times. Yours faithfully, Susan Wojcicki, CEO YouTube. Yeah, that ending though. I mean, it just sounds like another, hey, we're YouTube and we're about to do something terrible, or get yourself prepared for us to be about to do something terrible, because nothing terrible's happened in months and we're about due for one. Yeah. Anyway, that branches more into the next article that's on the Google blogs, but we'll save that for our next video, ladies and gentlemen, because this one is going to be kind of long when I edit it all together. Anyway, I've been StooDogg. Stay safe, stay clean, and try and stay virus free. And I'll catch you next time. See ya.
I am a mechanical